Hi, this is Lonyo with another StarCraft 2 commentary, and this game is between a couple of players on the Korean ladder. We've got the red Zerg in the 3 o'clock-ish position, which is Promise, and the blue Terran in the 12, who has the name in Korean. And the Terran, top 200-ish Korean player, Promise slightly lower, 2100 diamond, gets 2400-ish diamond, so hopefully these players are going to be fairly decent. Hopefully they'll give a fairly decent game on this map, Scrap Station, which can be pretty nice for Zerg. You can get that fast expansion, and the Terran can find it pretty difficult to put on too much early pressure since there's the long rush distance. But if the Terran decides to go for something like Banshees with the close air distances, he can put on quite a bit of he can do quite a bit of damage if the Zerg doesn't take up the layer quickly enough, if he doesn't have enough queens ready for defense, or maybe even some spore crawlers. Although you don't often see spore crawlers because they're almost kind of a bit of a waste, because you've got to spend the money on Evo chamber, you've got to spend the money on the spore crawlers, and then they're not much use after that, so it's kind of sometimes better to get some queens. And it looks like, interestingly, despite the long rush distance, the Terran is going to put a bit of a wall on his front door. Normally you wouldn't see too much of a rush from a Zerg, although obviously it's kind of a bit safer if you do kind of go for a bit of a wall in. But it shouldn't really impact the game too much, and just getting a gas up, fairly standard timing. The Zerg looks like it's going to send out for a 15 hatch and get a drone down, get that expansion up, which is pretty much what you'd almost always expect. The Terran not really able to put on too much early pressure because it's got to get that depot down before the racks. Not going to be able to produce too much, and with the long rush distance not going to be able to do anything, especially when the Zerg can scout, whether you've gone for any kind of proxy racks anyway, because by the time your barracks is going up, he's got a Overlord in the base. You could cancel that hatch and go for a quick spawning pool, and the spawning pool is going up in the main. SCV just coming in scouting, both players opening pretty much standard, and just one marine coming out, going to be able to chase away that Overlord, which runs away just before anything happens anyway. And he's got another barracks going down, another supply depot going down on that front door, which is kind of interesting. Sometimes you'd think two big buildings like two barracks or a barracks in the factory slightly better in terms of offering defense if Zerg decides to go for banelings and try and do a bit of a baneling bust. We're just going to stick with two supply depots alongside that barracks for now, and a tech lab going up, so that might be for a Reaper to do a bit of a scout. Moves around the map a lot faster, and it looks like we've got two gas going up, so we might see some early Banshees, fast tech up the Banshees, get the cloak, and use those Banshees to attack. And the hatchery is still not complete, but not too surprising, not really too much worry, but now he does manage to get up, and he's just going to be able to mine off that. And the factory looks like there's possibly room for an add-on there, but no, he's just going to put another supply depot down, so he's not going to get an add-on for the factory. And he's got a kind of a bit of a weak wall with all these supply depots, so if the Zerg wanted, he could do a baneling bust, but that's probably not what you're going to see. He's probably going to try and take up the layer and then go for muralist, especially with the air distance, although the Terran can obviously kind of spam it up with towers around his base, make sure that not too much damage is done. But soon enough that starport should be going down now that his factory's finished. And no, he's going to go for a Thor rush, in fact, presumably, which is also another option. So he's probably still going to get a starport down and get some Thor. No, he's getting a tank. Okay, I really don't know what he's doing. Not entirely sure that this is the most agreeable build. If he's getting a Thor, he could do Thor dropship play. If he's getting Banshees, it's close air distance, but instead he's going to get a tank, so he's going to go kind of defensive. But if he's going defensive, you can build a wall across here. Basically the same buildings, a couple of big buildings like the factory and the barracks just across here, and then you can get a wall down there instead of having to wall off up here and then still having this exposed area for when he goes for that expansion and using the siege tank to defend. But I guess that's his decision, that's what he's decided to do. The Zerg just macroing up, got 29 drones against 23 SCVs, and getting his layer up, not deciding to spread creep, instead using all his queen energy to inject lava. Now he's got a barracks going down at the bottom of that ramp, going to stick 4 marines in, but neither player doing anything particularly aggressive. Promise making sure he's just got decent scanning information, got lings around the map, got the Overlord's position. Now he's decided to spread some creep as well and get some more lings out. And he's gone 3 queens, interestingly enough, even though he's just on the 2 hatcheries, so he's probably going to assume that something's coming, because, well, we got 2 factories going up, and really on this map with a long rush distance, factory play not the most effective because it just takes so long to get anywhere. And you can see here, you've got Zergs walking away at these destructible debris, but you can just send in mutalisks around the back, and you can send in mutalisks over here. He's not got an eBay down, I don't think, and he's had to use some of his energy to get a supply depot thing, I can't remember what it's called. Call down extra supplies on the supply depot rather than getting them all out, so he's going to be slightly behind again in economy. And a baneling nest going down, so yeah, he is looking like he's going to take advantage of that kind of thin wall. He's got a spy going down and a baneling nest going down. Going to be able to take down this wall if he wants, running some Zerglings. He's going to be able to deal with these tanks pretty easily. There's no engineering bay, there's no turrets, there's no Thors at the moment, there's no armory for Thors, and really I'm not entirely sure how the Terran expect to win this with tanks and a lot of bunkers just kind of spammed across this front door, because as soon as the Zerg gets mutalisks out, he's just going to be able to do basically whatever he wants, wherever he wants, send them around. He's going to see, wait a minute, 2 baneling nests? Am I getting confused? Did I not click on that baneling nest? He built 2 baneling nests and cancelled one. Okay, I'm not quite sure what Promise is doing at all. I'm not quite sure even where his spire is, or whether it's been scattered. Okay, spire's in the middle, so has the Terran scattered the spire? No, so he doesn't know the spire's coming up. He's seen the baneling nest, he's seen the other baneling nest, he's probably slightly confused as well. And I'm not quite sure how he managed to build 2 baneling nests unless he forgot. No, he didn't. Okay, so he saw the cancel possibly, but really I'm not quite sure what's going on with this guy. And he's finally getting 12 turrets up, so really he's going to spam those turrets and getting an armory down and going to get some Thors out. So he's going to be able to defend against this mutalisk harass when it does eventually come, just getting +1 attack. So the mutalisk has got a decent defense in the front door, so maybe he's not going to be so much of a problem, because those banelings aren't going to be able to do too much unless he gets drop tech and drops them in the main, but I don't see that happening, and he's got the turrets around anyway. But only a couple of turrets, so he could easily take out this turret, assuming the Thors aren't out in time, but the Thors should be out in time. Although mutalisks have almost finished, so those mutalisks might be able to fly in and a double expand from the Zerg, getting the gold and his third. Still just a 2 base from the Terran, spreading the creep down the middle, sending those mutalisks out. They could possibly take down this turret and do a bit of damage to the economy since he's just got the 1 turret. And either side, they're not going to really be able to cover each other. He's not got any turrets on the front door, but he does have those marines. He's getting some more turrets down as well, but it looks like the Thor's going to pop out, and that's going to be able to drive away these mutalisks. They aren't going to be able to do too much at the moment, but there's no turret up here yet, and those Thors are going to have to take a while to get down there, so we might be able to take out a few SCVs, stop the gas running. And the Thor's going to come, going to drive that away. Turrets up, and yep, he's just going to have to run them away. Not using anything else, just got a few Zerglings kind of waiting around at the back, just using these mutalisks to harass a bit. He's forced a few turrets, he's forced to switch into the Thors. He's forced the armory. It doesn't look like he's getting any more Thors at the moment, so he's just going to get some barracks and some bio, but he's going to hold off first 2 mag, running away from the turret. Really kind of not enough turrets, and the turrets are kind of too spread out to be able to be too effective. And now the Zerg's just able to micro up, and he's just going to get so many bases, and the Terran's going to have a difficult time keeping up. Because while he's got all these tanks, he's got a couple of Thors, the army just really isn't mobile enough to be able to go and chase down those expansions unless he gets some drops up, but he can't get any drops up because he doesn't have any starports, can't really support the bioforce with medevacs. So he's in a bit of a problem, because as soon as this economy kicks in for the Zerg, 75 drones, okay, he spammed a lot of drones just there. So really the Zerg are way ahead in the economy. The Terran's not able to put any pressure on, he can't move out of his base because the mutalisks can just come in and attack. He's getting the hive up, he's presumably going to get possibly a Greater Spire or Ultralisks, wait and see, but really I think Greater Spire would be better, because with the lack of anti-air and this map is just beautiful for broodlords. You can just kind of stick them in the gaps. You can stick a broodlord up here, start attacking these factory production buildings, and then just kind of fly them away a bit. There's no starport out still for the Terran. He's not going to be able to get Vikings quickly enough to kind of take down those broodlords if he does switch into broodlords and doesn't get scouted, which is obviously kind of a bit of a risky play, but still broodlords would be much better, because just the way the map's structured, you can stick the broodlords around here, just send in corruptors, morph them to broodlords, and then just start attacking the mineral lines. You can start attacking from up here, and he does have a starport down now, and he's got a reactor coming, so he might be able to build either a lot of medevacs, and he is getting the greatest spy for the Broodlords. So in fact, it might not happen that the Broodlords will be affected, because they are the Vikings that will be able to come out if he manages to scout the greatest spy coming up. But he still hasn't even seen the spy, let alone the greatest spy, and he knows that the Zerg's got the 4 bases, so he might want to get might want to get medevacs to support Bioforce and just try and take out those bases with drops as quickly as he can. It looks like we're going to have Supply Depot attack, and that could hurt, but no, he's got Force coming up. Supply Depot is going to burn down unless he repairs it. Doesn't look like he is. Might even have to use another cooldown supply. No, he's got in fact 3 coming down to repair that, so slightly excessive there. But I think that's kind of the way that this Terran likes to play. He's still not got too many harvesters. The Zerg's still far ahead, and really could be using that army at the moment to start taking down these debris here, so he can get another base up when he wants, rather than just having it sat idle. He's just got +1 attack on the infantry, and they're going to try. That's the mutalisks. He's got +1 attack as well for the mutalisks, but no other upgrades. It looks like he's morphing some broodlords in this big open area, and he's going to start moving in. Any second now he's going to be able to use the broodlords to take down these completely empty bunkers. Best thing that they'll do is kind of disrupt all the AI, but with this many stores and this many marines, the mutalisks aren't going to be too effective, and it looks like the Terran's going to move out, the Zerg's going to have to run away. But those broodlords, they're going to be basically invincible, or near as, if he manages to kind of micro them pretty well. Terran's just kind of trapped right the way around the edge, and while these broodlords are going to be able to do a lot of damage. One floor goes down, another floor's going to go down. Now the now the keeps moving. If he had some banelings, that would be even better, but it doesn't really going to matter. Everything's going to go down. There's so many broodlords. Ouch. Zerg macros, so good. Getting those extra bases up. Terran putting on no pressure because he went for that really weird early build with siege tanks, didn't put on any pressure. Broodlords just came along, took complete advantage of the map, and an easy win in the end when the two armies finally clashed. Just kind of in almost completely the wrong area, where there's just a big semicircle around this completely open area. The Broodlords could just sit there and just fire away from distance. So kind of poorly played by the Terran, not playing the map, not playing against his opponent really, and just kind of doing his own little thing with the siege tanks, and that kind of cost him the game. He didn't put on any pressure, didn't play against mutalisks, didn't play against mutaling, didn't play against broodlords, didn't play against a big expansion, just kind of played with a few siege tanks and went defensive and let the Zerg just take the game. So kind of nicely played by the Zerg, played against his opponent, knew what was going on, and took an easy win in the end. So well played by the Zerg.